Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. This week we have a brand new guest. Go ahead and take it away.
Hey everyone, my name's Krista. My channel is Rockhounding. I'm based out of Cleveland, Ohio, so we do a lot of rock hounding here in the Ohio area and the states around it, but we have a couple videos of trips out west and some other neat places as well. Focusing mostly on the rock hounding, but a little bit on cutting rocks and some lapidary as well.
Nice. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes, welcome. Yay, we are happy you are here. And we're happy that you're here. And a warm welcome to you. And where are you viewing us from? Where are you broadcasting from tonight? Pray tell. Leave it in the comments. Or I don't know. We get some really cool comments like I'm listening in a parking lot, like first thing in the morning with my coffee. You never know. So anyways, leave those in the comments. And I am Karen from Ozone Fine Art Ventures out here on the gorgeous Oregon coast. How about you? Who are you this week?
This week my name is Rodney, and my channel is particle physics and fluid dynamics for toddlers. It's kind of just like a beginner crash course for young children.
No big deal.
Yeah,
they are so good at crashing at that age as well.
Exactly. And it's like it's a really simple concept, like it's really not that like complex of a subject. So you got to start them young on fluid dynamics. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. You do not want to get started with that, late in life.
Later in life, yeah, exactly.
And they're professionals at fluids too. That's true.
They are. This is true.
And then I'm Mild Kyle with World of Rockhounds, also from Oregon.
Yay.
So for those that don't know.
For those that don't know, I'm from Montana, and I never say that in any episodes because
I forget. Yeah,
exactly. I'm too busy being from all over the globe, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, let them keep guessing.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Kurt couldn't be with us tonight, and he says hello to everybody else, and he did give some show and tell for later, so we'll cover that when we get there. So we'll see Kurt on the next episode. So
hi, Kurt.
Hi, Kurt. So that is our introductions. Karen, shout outs. What you got?
I got first a huge thank you to Jamin from Young Guns Opal Hunters for coming to this show last week. If you did not get a chance to see that, watch the rest of this one and then hurry over and watch that one. It was amazing. And we hope you find a ton of opals this season and hope to have you on the show again. What a blast it was. Yep. And also a huge thanks, which I forgot to mention last week. I hope I am forgiven. Thanks to Polly the Rockhound. He's the one that made the connection for us to be in contact with Jamin. So thank you so much, Polly. You're the best.
Woo.
And Claude said it was great to see a third generation fella getting into the mining and loving it, which is so true. That was, grandfather, dad, and now Jamin. Michelle really enjoyed listening to Jamin's stories and reflections on the dangerous and difficult work those guys do, which was fascinating. Rookie Rockhounding said it was the best to do yard work too, and he was digging his fellow Aussie dude. Yeah, we come on in the morning or mid-morning in Australia the next day, and so he's typically doing his yard whipper
Saturday
snapping.
chores.
Yeah. So thank you for tuning in, Jesse. Crawdad and Rusty checking in while washing his spoils from Southern Oregon rock hunt. That sounds interesting. 3 words: show and tell, man.
Yeah.
Share them with us, and we'll do the viewer show and tell with you. Sandmaker was checking in from Euless, Florida. Jackie was super excited to hang out in the live chat for the first time. Had a great time. Dustin Finds Rocks, Julie, Michael, currently rock hounding, Greek Explorers, Ivan Lopez, Patrick, and John Brownwood all dug it. And Rufotris went so far as sharing an auctioneer practice video to get me primed to do the shots as an auctioneer. Maybe next time after I do some practice. I'm still working on the bitter butter getting better. So anyways, them's the shouts.
Thank you. Yeah, I do want to let people know that I may not be super active like during like Friday's live streaming. I am watching, I'm listening. During that time, like I'm in the middle of like feeding River and like helping her out doing chores. So like I'm there, I'm watching, and I tried to comment when I'm able to.
He's
So
watching.
I would like to add,
apologize.
yeah, exactly. I would like to say the same thing actually, because Friday evenings when the podcast is coming out is usually when I'm getting home from work, which means that's like the time frame that I'm uploading the next day's video, because it's kind of an unfortunate coincidence that my videos go up on Saturday, and then so like every podcast I'm there, I'm always watching, and then I join the chat the moment I'm done uploading the next day's video. But yeah, so
And we're
I'm kind of on
always
the
happy
same
to
page
see
with you,
ya.
Kyle. We're both
Nobody
there,
ever
though.
wonders where I am. I'm always there. Awesome. So on to the next.
Yeah.
Yay.
How was everyone's
Yeah.
week? Sorry with you, Krista.
My week was good. Yesterday, it finally warmed up enough in Cleveland. It was in the 50s. So after work, I was able to get the saw out and cut some of the geodes that we collected last month. So that felt good to finally get to cut some of those open. And other than that, haven't done too much this week. Just enjoying that little bit of warm before the ice came tonight. So it's back to being cold for the weekend. But that's all right.
I mean, ice is a mineral, so, and I told Theo this earlier.
Yeah.
If it's snow, you can just go out there as temporarily rock hounding, and then those
Yeah,
those are the only rocks you can lick and be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dare you to do that just for Jared.
All right.
Only time it's okay. But anything else?
Then was that? Yeah, is that your week?
Yeah, that's my week. I don't really have too much else going on this week, so.
All right.
But,
I too am going to be succinct. I got some boxes in the mail. Wow. And they were very exciting, and they're full of surprises. And so I can't really talk about it. Although I did have some other projects in the works, so that'll be my show and tell. There's a video coming out this weekend. I'm sorry, there's been a pause in videos, folks. Craziness happens, and this one is taking quite the time to actually make an edit, but it's going to be well worth it. It's on the amber that I shared last week during the show and tell, and some more, and so it's going to be some interesting visuals, to say the least. And like I said, there's some fun surprises coming up in the future. So there's a tease for you. How about you? Yeah. What's your name again today?
Rodney.
This is going to be confusing because the channel name was Rodney, but I've got Felipe up on the bottom of my thing. So just
I like
pick a name.
Felipe Rodney.
Right.
Any
Full
name.
Well, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I think I know of what surprises you are speaking.
Yeah.
And that's like just a few weeks out. So be excited, everybody. It's going to be cool. Anyway, though.
Yeah, we got a couple more weeks to ramp everybody up.
Yeah, exactly. We'll just keep like hinting at it every week. Just people are so built up that when it comes out, they're like, wow, that was overhyped, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's my bad.
An anti-climax moment.
Yeah. So I am still, I don't remember if I mentioned this last week or not. I think I might have. I don't remember. I went out hunting twice last week and did a video last week and went out Monday for a rock hunt. So I am like, for the first time all winter, actually ahead on videos. So I have been deep cleaning, deep organizing, separating, grading and sizing everything in the shop. And it has been a very, very time consuming undertaking, but I keep rediscovering things that I lost or just misplaced. You know, they're put in a super safe space when you have no idea where it is, and then you find it one day and you're like, oh yeah, this thing. I should have brought it for show and tell. I have a Anyway, I'll if you all want to see what I'm referring to, go to my Instagram because I'm going to be posting it tomorrow. Anyway, no.
That works.
Yeah, exactly. So Monday was one of the nicest days we've had in Montana since like October. It was like high 50s. We had like 6 mile an hour winds, no clouds, just beautiful. So we went out and rock hunted for like 6 hours. It was wonderful. We got some amazing stuff.
Aw.
One of those things will be show and tell later. And yeah, I'll just save that because I got to talk about that for show and tell. But yeah, it was such a good day. It was so nice. And then literally the next day, we had 8 new inches of snow and it was 20 degrees for the high. So we timed it perfectly. And it's
Sounds like
supposed to be-
Krista's weather.
Yeah, it sounds like it's what's heading my way. We had the
Yeah.
50 degrees and it's back to snow tonight.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be back up to high 40s by Saturday. So that's just a February in Montana for you. It's pretty accurate, but
Hang on tight. Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I also have my own surprises that I've been working on that I am pretty far out on one of them, so I can't talk about that one at all. But the other one's coming up soon. So I still can't talk about it because it's still like I said, like 2 weeks off. So man, I really am overhyping this, aren't I? So I got this thing.
2 of us are definitely this information. Like,
You can always do that thing where you just start telling us, and I just like put in like music right over it, and you.
yeah.
Oh, we should do that. Are you down?
Yeah.
I'm down.
Okay.
Get
Okay.
ready for the
Well, yeah.
tease.
So, well, the thing that is a ways out that I'm working on is. And it's going to be so cool. I'm so excited
Wow.
about it.
Nice.
That
That's
one's
insanity.
still a ways out. Like we just, so I've still got another like 3 weeks of work in there at least.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
everyone that's watching right now will have
It's
to
just
wait.
like, what? Yeah. Oh man,
That
don't
was
you
some
wish the
nice
Jeopardy
music,
music wasn't copyrighted?
Yeah, that'd be
I
nice.
know. Yeah.
Can't
Wait,
even
no.
hum it.
I know, yeah.
Wonder if you could play it backwards and get away with
Just-
You know, probably could.
you probably could, yeah.
Probably could.
Oh my gosh.
it.
Is that the trick to get around copyrights? Is just play everything in reverse?
Maybe.
Maybe because like
Just gonna do a video and reverse the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm safe.
I'm sorry, I got way off topic. That was my week.
Okay, thanks.
How about you, Kyle?
So a few things happened this week. One, I made it to 3,000 subscribers on my channel,
Woo!
and
Bravo.
yeah, I didn't like make a whole big thing about it. I'm like, because I've been a little bit busy lately. But so thank you to everyone that is subscribed. You guys are all awesome. And
Woo!
Amy got me a gift. She got me a new tool for making videos. So you guys, if you watched my last video, you notice I had like a pan while I'm working. It's a little motorized thing that holds my camera in place. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I want one of those really bad.
Oh, it's
That was super cool.
I really want one.
it's awesome. I do wish it has 3 speeds, and I had it on the slowest speed. So there are like camera tools where it can pan like slower. So at some point I'll get one of those too for like if I'm doing longer projects, and I can just like sit it and just forget it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
I think it should bring you coffee.
Oh,
You just,
Like, I
you
think
should just get a little robot at that point.
yeah. You should have it pan in and just give you some coffee. I don't know. That was what my first thought was like, that is the coolest little toy. It would bring me coffee.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
yeah. I mean, probably could just to put it down, put it on timer, do like boop. Time for
Yeah,
coffee.
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Other than those 2 big things, just kind of doing things here and there in the shop, just chugging along. So for everyone that knows, the Makers Challenge is kind of coming up here soon,
Yep.
and I had one project in mind, and so Karen, Theo, and Kurt, and we all nerded out about like Pokemon.
It was wonderful. It was
And
great.
So ridiculous.
It got to the point. It got to the point where we're like, okay, I'm changing my my challenge now. So
Yes.
it's just pinpointing exactly what I want to do because it opened up so many options,
It really did.
and
That was awesome.
I'm excited. Like I'm really excited.
It's good to see you so excited about this.
One of the items I do want to make, it may not be for a maker's challenge per se, but like it will be a future video. I don't want to say what it is yet because I don't really want to spoil it, but I need to go to the rock like yard rock place and actually get like a big, not a huge boulder, but a big enough piece of boulder of granite to break it up to make this one specific thing. And
I'm there with you.
I also want to make it so it's kind of articulated. So like I'm gonna drill holes through all of it, and then have like copper wire in there so I can actually move it.
Oh, I know exactly what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be so cool.
So I'm excited for that. So maybe we'll do that throughout the year, and then that'll be next year's
Right.
Maker's challenge. Oh man, that's gonna be so hard to sit on for so long though. But you know, I think if I take my time on it, like I can make it that much better. Like seriously, that much better.
It'd be so cool.
And then the question would be like, how big should I make it?
Right.
Like, should I do like a little one, or should I do like a big one?
Like fills the room.
I don't know how I'd move it. That'd be like super
I
heavy.
vote for fills the room.
Right.
Maybe if I make it out of styrofoam, but that'd be too big.
Yeah.
Or dude, have you guys ever watched Stuff Made Here?
Yeah.
You could just, do a collab with him and he could like create a little robot that could control it.
Oh,
That'd be
cool.
the coolest. That'd be amazing. Anyway, though, I think I'm responsible for getting us off topic
Yeah.
again.
Okay.
Sorry.
But that's my
Massive
week.
tangent.
But that was my week. And Karen, we did your week too, right? No?
We totally did. We're on
Okay.
to questions.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain's a little spacey. But yeah.
It's all right.
Now we're on to questions. Karen, if you want to
Well,
kick it off.
yeah. Krista, you've got the geology background, and so something tells me that this whole rock business goes a little farther back than a recent thing. So tell us how you got into this rock game.
Yeah, so I've loved rock since I was a little kid. Probably the first memory I have of really getting into rocks was a family trip down to the Smoky Mountains, and a combination of those gift shops where you like fill the bag of rocks with those, for like $5 you get the colorful dyed stuff. And then going out on a trail in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, up to Clingman's Dome, which is like the highest point in Tennessee. And along the trail there's these, I guess they're just nice, the GNEISS, but they had some garnets in them. And I guess maybe I had learned about rocks recently in school, but I knew they were garnets and I was so excited. And it was just like that clicking point. And since then, I've just always been obsessed. Had a collection growing up and got a degree in geology because of it, and still obsessed with rocks. So
That is awesome. Yeah, like I don't know anybody who didn't collect those pouches of dyed howlite and whatnot.
Yep.
All of the
Absolutely.
gift shops. You're begging your parent, it's like $1 a scoop, Mom.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yep.
That's
anytime
awesome.
we were on a vacation, any of those gift shops, it was begging for those as a kid, and it panned out.
Yeah,
So
they knew.
Have you noticed like?
Did you?
I was to say, have you noticed like as you got older, like you look at those little trays, like like when you're younger, like that's treasure, like oh, mom, please.
Yeah.
Like as an adult, you're like, I can get this for cheaper and actually get like stuff that isn't dyed.
Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
like
Oh,
the
gosh.
landscaping rocks outside are cooler than the stuff in the things now.
Right, but
Sorry.
you can't pop a kid's bubble. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, like
Well-
I've bought more of those than I would like to admit to, only because I've been, I feel my heart feels too much guilt saying no.
Well, the joke is on them now because I actually found one of those when I was going through stuff a while back, like that I bought as a kid. And we're lucky in Montana because we have Yellowstone River stuff. So some of the stuff in that tumbled stuff was like Montana agates and like bright red jasper. So I actually took a few of them and made cabs just like to bring them full circle from childhood all the way up to like actual like jewelry ready cabochon. And yeah, it's funny. Like some of those are actually really nice Montana agates. Also, I don't know if you guys noticed. She heard me talking in the other room and just came bolting. I love this dog.
Aw, so sweet.
Dante, can we go to it? No? Okay. I guess you're just hanging out with me. All right.
I had a little caboose question. As far as your geology background, did you specialize or was it more just general geology?
It was general geology. And then I worked for a couple years after that doing groundwater stuff. And right now I'm doing stuff in environmental health. So it kind of tied over. But so
Nice.
it kind of went towards the groundwater side of geology, which is, I think, a cool topic. But
Fascinating. Yeah. Felipe knows something about that with the flow technology for 3-year-olds.
Yeah, exactly. For fluid dynamics. Yeah. The particle physics too is a big one.
Right. Yeah. Felipe, you're up next with a question.
Okay. Kind of a weird way to word it, but what has been your like white whale as far as rock hunting? Like, what's that one thing that you really, really want to find?
I have to think about that one for a second. So I really like plant fossils, and it's one of the things you can find kind of in southeast Ohio. And the Lapidary Club near us has this big trunk from this giant fern that they got from somewhere in a coal bed. And I really want to get out to some of those outcrops and try to find one of those fossil ferns that are just massive.
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. So I just need to get down to that part of the state. It's kind of just out of the way, but that's one of the things that's just like one of those, like, I need to have that someday on my list. So.
No, absolutely. Hello.
Good answer.
Sorry. She's not going anywhere.
I'll take the
Hi.
room-sized one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a slab from the one that they have at the club, and it's like this big of a slab.
Oh man.
I have it downstairs. I can send a picture in, but they've
so
got
cool.
just the massive chunk that's like it probably weighs like 50 pounds, and from the base of it, it's
That's
such a cool
crazy.
piece. So
Yeah, if you send a picture right after the podcast, I can put it up tonight.
yeah, I'll get that to you.
Sweet, that's gonna be cool to see. Any other questions? Rodney/Felipe.
Are we doing them all at once, or were we gonna go?
Oh, I mean, I can go next, and we can circle back. Yeah.
Mix it
I just
up.
wasn't sure. Okay.
We'll
Okay.
mix it up a little.
Dante. Stop it.
So my question is, if you can rock hound anywhere in the world and money was not an issue, where would you go and what would you collect?
Sweetie.
Oh gosh, all the places. But I think if I had to pick one, I would pick Indonesia. It just looks like such a pretty country, and the fossil corals there are like gem quality and really neat petrified wood.
Yes.
It's where bumblebee jasper's from. It's not actually a jasper, but there
Jasper.
are
Yeah.
legit
Right.
jaspers and agates, and some of the moss agates from there are really neat. The grape agate, amber. There's so many cool things there that I can't find anything close to that where I'm at. So
I don't think anyone else has answered Indonesia before.
I don't think so.
It's always been
That's
like,
new.
yeah. So
I think Australia
And you
Brazil
totally
have
think
been
that
our
would
two
be
main
some
ones.
low-lying fruit that somebody would have plucked already. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
seems like such a cool place for rock hounding, but there's so many cool places though. It's hard to pick just one.
Gosh, Dante.
everywhere. Nurse. I want everything.
Yes.
I will travel everywhere and get everything. It's my answer.
Where would you like to go? My answer is yes.
Yeah.
I was almost thinking I should save up and go to Florida and get a hold of Wild Kyle and see if he'd be down to show me around.
Love Florida.
I've never left the West Coast.
I love Florida so much. Florida's amazing. It's so nice. Speaking of, I'll tell you podcast crew, you all get sneak peeks. Florida in April for 2.5 weeks.
Woo.
Can't wait to see the spoils from that. That is going to be good.
It's going to be awesome.
Next round of questions, unless Krista had any questions that she wanted to ask before we start off on round 2.
I think I do.
Okay.
I can't think of any.
Karen.
All right. This question comes from one of the Discordians and also another channel. So Refotris Rooted Rockhound asks, what type of material were you not so excited about to hound as other things, but ended up cherishing the most? If there's anything like that.
That one's
I like that one.
Yeah, I saw that one on Discord and I had to think about that a minute. So I'm glad I saw it before the podcast started. I think what I'm going to go with is when I was down in Mississippi for an internship, my boss had scheduled me to go out with a couple of geologists from the state, and we went to this gravel quarry. And I didn't really know much about the geology in Mississippi at the time, but we got there and they handed me a bucket and said, have at it, and basically had run of the quarry. And I didn't really know what I was picking up at the time, just cool things here and there. But looking back on it later, I ended up with like a bunch of Crowley Ridge agates and some really neat chert with fossils in it and all kinds of really, really cool stuff that I didn't really appreciate at the time because I didn't know what it was. But
wow,
I would, and all kinds of cool things. So that's probably the one trip that comes to mind, because I just at the time didn't really know what I was doing and just kind of throwing stuff in a bucket, but turned into like all these awesome things that I have now.
Nice.
Those Crowleys are so cool.
Yeah, they're
I
beautiful.
love those things.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Chris, for that great question over there on Discord. Hey, Felipe, do you have another question, or should I go with another one from the Discordians?
I have another.
Okay.
Questions can be easy to come up with when you're talking to rockhounds. So when is your trip to Montana coming?
Gosh, hopefully soon. I actually have a friend who lives out there in Harlow or Harlowton or something. I don't know how far that is.
Harlowton. It's only like 45 minutes, actually.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty close.
So I'm really hoping to get out and visit her sometime soon, because
I'm thinking of the right place. Sorry.
I don't think it's that far from Billings. I think you're right. So I'm really hoping to get out and visit her soon. Her boyfriend has a ranch out there, so I'm just like, I could have free reign of this area to go and look for whatever on, and then the Yellowstone's not too far away. And
I think I just remembered where Harlowton is, and if you have access to a ranch, you have to do that, because that's north of Billings, which is part of the Madison limestone, which has some cool stuff. But there's also a finger in that area that you might be able to find some fantastic plant fossils over there. I know that there's a lot of leaves. They find palm fronds out there sometimes, which is crazy.
That's awesome.
There's a lot of coal activity out there. So lots and lots of plants fossils. But yeah, you're only like an hour away from the Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I just remembered where Harlowton is. It's a little east of Roundup. There's so many little towns in Montana. It's so hard to keep track of.
Yeah. I know it's a little town, but I don't know exactly where. But I'm really hoping to get out there in the next year or two. This year is kind of booked up with a lot of other stuff that's going on, but so it might be next year. But it's on my list. It's high on the list.
Well, get a hold of me when you do.
All right, I will definitely.
Sorry, I could ask. I was gonna ask. I mean, we can probably go with the Discordian question, but like the first thing that popped in my mind was like, "What is your quest?" It's a favorite. Okay, Karen.
Those are good questions, but dangerous to answer. So,
all right, off we go then.
Greg D asks, actually he's got two. What was your favorite road trip as a rock hound, of course? And then the part two was, actually, let's have you finish that and then we'll go into part two.
Okay. Favorite road trip, probably this past year's trip to South Dakota.
Yeah. Love this. Oh, I love South Dakota.
Oh, the Black Hills are awesome.
Oh.
That's for college, that was where our field camp was. So it was 5 weeks of mapping in the Black Hills.
Oh,
And
what?
so cool.
Yes.
And then the
Jelly.
following year, I ended up spending a summer working out there as a park ranger at Wind Cave.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was kind of a near and dear spot to me. So it was fun to take my fiance out there and can show him the places that were special to me, and we got to go on a dinosaur dig, which was really, really cool. So,
Nice.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Double
that
jelly.
that was an awesome trip. So
All right, good question, Greg. Part 2 is seeing that you tumble rocks, what rock finds get the best shine, and what's your favorite rock to tumble?
So the rock that I think gets the best shine, and maybe it's biased because it's an Ohio rock, but it's just personally, I have gotten the best shine on Ohio flint. I've tumbled agates and jaspers and all kinds of other things, but the flint in Ohio, I can get a really nice polish on that. I just finished a batch a couple weeks ago, and it's one of the best batches yet. As far as favorite rocks to tumble, I just recently finished a batch of Botswana agates that have so many cool
Love that
bands,
stuff.
and like you can like see in between some of the bands, and it just like looks like it goes on forever, and just really beautiful rocks. I've got a batch of labradorite tumbling right now, which is also really fun. I'm having fun with that. It's going into, I think, pre-polished right now.
Nice.
So that's what I'm having fun with at the moment. But I think Botswana, it's been my favorite finished batch so far.
Those things are so cool. I love Botswana agates.
I've got a good sized bucket full of those that I've been meaning to get to.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Awesome. All right, and we've got one more Discordian question actually from Patrick, and he wanted to know, are you planning any epic trips this year that you can tantalize us with, which I thought was a fantastic question.
Other than Montana.
The for sure one is probably getting back to Nether's Farm for more flint, because I'm running low on flint, and that's one of the main things I sell in my Etsy shop. But we're talking about maybe getting back to the Herkimer area in early April or maybe late April. We want to get back there. That was a fun spot. I want to get down to Indiana. There's a couple of outcrops with some cool fossils and geodes down there, and that would be an easy weekend. And then usually every January we try to do a longer Rockhound trip, kind of a 4 or 5 day trip, and really hoping to get to Missouri to check out Haunted Ridge and down to Arkansas maybe in January, but that's a little bit further off. That's kind of the dream trip right now. But
get a hold of Dustin if you go to Missouri.
I was gonna say,
oh yeah, I would.
Tantalizing.
So yeah, that's the big one on the radar. I want to get down there, but that might be next January. So
nice.
So, yeah. Thank you, Discordians, for your awesome questions.
Yes, thank you.
I have one more.
Awesome.
Okay, so I thought it was hilarious because I follow you on Instagram, and I think we missed each other in South Dakota by like 5 days. And I'm not even joking. Like, we were both there almost the same time. I thought it would have been so funny to like meet up with you at TP Canyon or something like that.
That would have been so cool.
Just by coincidence. But yeah, because I love South Dakota so much, and I love rockhounding over there so much. What's your favorite thing to hunt for in South Dakota? So I think for people that rock hunt South Dakota, there's a different answer for everyone you ask, and it's so interesting to hear.
Yeah, so the Fairburn agate beds were really fun to hunt. We didn't really find any proper Fairburns, but that was a really cool spot. But I think my favorite thing I found was during field camp in the kind of that red shale around Spearfish area. We found a bunch of bellamonite fossils.
Oh, cool.
Just kind of sticking out like a whole, like, not herd, because they're like just kind of a squid-like creature. But the group of squid. So I have a whole bunch of those, which I thought were really cool. So
that's
I think
awesome.
that might be one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. I loved the Fairburn Fields. We did not find we found fantastic prairie agates and jaspers, but we didn't find like anything that you could call a Fairburn. Funny enough, we actually found more baculites and clam fossils than we did like agates the whole time we were there. But yeah. They get hit pretty hard though, so it's not too shocking. But
yeah, it's a pretty popular spot. I think if maybe I walked further down the buttes, maybe got it like a mile away, there'd probably be a lot more stuff. But we want to go camp out there next time and just spend a day or two.
Yep.
Have the whole time.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Sounds like it'd be a blast.
I love it over there. South Dakota's magical. It's so cool.
Well, did we have any other questions?
How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty good.
That's the last of my question.
Okay, so now we're done with questions. We get into show and tell. So, Krista, you get the oh my gosh, you get to go first.
All right. So I have a couple things. I've got a piece of Ohio flint that is just absolutely phenomenal. It's only through stage 2 of the tumbler, so I'll get it wet. Actually, I have a container of water next to me that I need to open up because it's just not shiny enough. But you've got this like really crazy pink color with these like black and white bands, and there's like some crystal pockets in it.
It's insane.
Yeah, this is like the most insane piece of flint I've ever found, and
it's so crazy.
I wish it was so fully tumbled by the time of this podcast, but it conveniently was pulled out of the tumbler like 2 days ago, so it was so the next thing I have is a geode from Kentucky that is probably the best geode I've ever collected, and it's got these awesome like pink and purple colors. So I guess pink is the color of the night right now.
Yeah, and unusual. Yeah,
yeah, you don't find a lot of pink rocks other than feldspars, but yeah, so just really cool banding on that one. I'm hoping some of the batch we collected last month will have some similar stuff because they're from the same spot, but not
cut.
So say a famous red versus blue quote: "It's not pink, it's light as red."
and then the last stuff I have are a couple of cool plant fossils. I really like the plant fossils, so it's hard to see on the webcam, but I sent a picture. And so this is a piece of calamites, which is kind of related to modern horsetail plant. It was like a giant horsetail plant.
Yeah.
And on steroids.
And then this is a massive piece of stigmaria, which is a root system for this type of tree that was around during the Mississippian and Pennsylvanian, more so the Pennsylvanian. And this is a piece I pulled out of the side of a hill somewhere a couple of years ago.
Would that take a polish?
Killer root.
I don't know if it'll take a polish because I think it's a cast of what the original material is. I don't think it would polish. I think it's just kind of a sandstone.
Okay, yeah, then it won't take a polish.
Yeah, it'd be really cool if it did.
I love how anytime Kyle sees wood, his first like instant gut reaction is, "You gonna polish that?" Like in that live cast, he was like,
"Will it take a polish?"
Yeah.
There is some wood that won't polish. Like I got a piece on the shelf somewhere behind me where McDonald Ranch here in Oregon. There's some wood out there where a lot of it is pretty heavily. Oh my gosh, I can't think of the right word. Agatized.
Silicified.
Yeah, thank you. I don't have some big vocabulary. Yeah, but there's some pieces where it's still very fibrous. Like it just, and it's sometimes can be really hard to polish because you can get the solid parts of it, but then when you get the soft spot, it just like either flattens out or it doesn't polish, and it's hit or miss. But if you can get a polish on it, it's nice stuff. Yeah, you can make that a shirt.
Yeah. I've encountered that too. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. We have some kind of more boggish, pardon me, wood out here on the coast. It's petrified, but it's almost more mummified than it is petrified, if you will.
Yeah.
And so you start to try to polish or grind it, and it flays off, and you can smell it. It's really interesting. So and it will look exactly like some of the more black, actually silicified or permineralized petrified wood. So yeah, I totally know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Was that it for your show and tells? Did you have more?
Nope, these are the things I have. So
Well, thank you.
That was
you're
awesome.
welcome.
So cool. Yeah, so I've talked about Sunstones before, and I actually had a big sunstone project going on this week, so I thought I'd go ahead and do some show and tells from not only the sunstones that I'm working on right now, but some past ones. I've got one that I'm going to show right now because Kyle's going to pop it up. It actually flew across the room, and I have to look for it. So you can hold them with these and take pictures, which is actually what you're going to be seeing right now. But these also will catapult them if the tension releases. Then yeah, so that's what happened. A little project for me later. But anyways, faceting the sunstones can be really interesting, and it's one way to get a really good look at the schiller. And so there's some ghost schiller in the one. We have the copper bearing sunstone out here in Oregon, and usually you see the schiller is pink or red, or depends on the valence. It can even give it a green or bluish cast. And then you have some that just look silver, like these silver clouds that dance through the piece. So I faceted this one to get the most out of it. And this is just a hand facet job, not from a faceting machine. And I did it over there on the flat lap. And then sometimes they're good to give a back facet as well as a front facet too. The first triangle that you saw was just like a rose cut, which means flat on the bottom. I reverse cut the one that you're seeing now, so that you get some different planes, but it's instead of being shaped on the bottom like a typical faceted stone, you're actually making the angles go inside the stone. So it gives it a completely different look. This next one is carved so that you're getting the same idea. And actually I do have this one to hold up, but you guys are going to get a much better look from the pictures.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah. So this one's hand carved and polished. So I go in with the different polishing medium, and I can go ahead and create like a graceful, more of a soft, instead of faceted, undulating surface. And then I reverse faceted this one with a round bit, so that it's those dots that you're seeing cruising up the side there are actually reverse cut. And so there's all these different ways to treat the sunstone to create a gemstone out of it. So you've got the like, I feel like Bubba Gump. So you can cabochon,
Yes.
sunstone cabochon, sunstone carved, a sunstone facet, and etc. So once you get there though, how do you set them? And so, bezel setting shuts down the light. And I always like to make them open backed. And then you have the rough sunstone, and I've got a handful of sunstones that you can see that also are fabulous and radiant just as is. And so sometimes you're thinking, well, maybe I just want to set it this way. And so there's always this challenge, I can ruin the stone by A, polishing it, and B, like setting it so that it totally shuts down all of the light, or C, come up with a different way of setting it. And so that was like my big project that was inspired by actually somebody who had a request for me. And so I came up with some different ways of setting them. These ones turned out to be earrings. And so I'm going to so this is a trap. The sunstones are trapped inside, and
Cool.
yes, be careful, it's a trap. And they get to just be exactly how we mined these ones over at the the Spectrum mine, or at the Dust Devil, one or the other, and they come out of the basalt already almost like faceted stones. They're already clear, they're already clean, they're just gorgeous. And so this person wanted to see what it would be like if it, it's just unfettered. Can you set it without doing anything to it? Kind of like a magic trick. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So anyways, had fun with some different shapes and how to set different stones that are rough. And so how would you do it? It's just interesting to think about. Like, how would you take a rough stone without touching it and make it be wearable, set it as it were. Anyways, that's my show and tell.
Oh, thank you. And also, Rodney, Theo, you should make like a little one-off video of like pretty much doing what Bubba Gump does, and just like, but like recreate the whole scene, but you just talk about rocks.
Yeah, I should agree with that. And I'm gonna out myself here. I used to have that shirt. I don't know what happened to it, but I literally used to have a shirt, and it started off in big lettering, and it just slowly got like smaller and smaller as it went down the shirt. But it was literally Bubba Gump's Bubba's whole spiel about all the different ways to make shrimp, like literally every single one of them on shirt form. I love that shirt. I miss that shirt. So yeah, needless to say, I am all for that, and I will absolutely be doing that.
You should recreate it like scene for scene the best you can. Just like,
oh yeah, no.
I mean, it's like
I'll get
scrubbing the
Alexis
floor.
to just like looks like disinterested while I'm just like sitting there like going off, you know,
Just
and
sand
then it'll
them,
just cut to the, yeah, exactly.
polish them, you tumble them.
Oh, I'm all over it. I'm right there with you.
Be funny if you can get Travis like to submit a clip with like you can fish with him.
Oh, that might be my April 1st video.
Oh, that'd be awesome. So, let me think here. So, yeah,
It would be Felipe's turn.
Felipe, Rodney.
Before I go on to my show and tells, I wanted to say that I love your settings so much. They're so cool. I've only done one like raw stone setting, and it's kind of cheating because I actually took like little tiny itty bitty glass vials and filled them with almandine garnets, way too small to do anything with, but they're still like nice, really colorful stones. And I just made like little glass jar earrings out of them, but that's cheating. The work was done for me. I just put lips on.
I don't think that's cheating at all.
It's not. I think that any way that you can figure out how to get it done, I think that's interesting. There in of itself is some art. Yeah.
Does anybody remember those pencils they used to have that had it was like a regular pencil in them, but there's like that much of a tube that had like little rock chips in them? Do they still make those, or were those a thing like back like 20 years ago?
They're probably outlawed because children chewed on them or something.
Yeah,
I
thought it was cool.
The kids licked all the rocks. You know,
Turns out they were all filled with like sphalerite and like bumblebee jasper.
Other radio, like cinnabar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yikes.
Okay. So, man, we are just Tangent Town, USA tonight.
More content.
That's fine.
keep it under an hour and a half. That's okay.
So, to start with, I've got this right here, which is a Sagenite agate that I took over to Montana Rock Moms to Slab. And what you're seeing right now, everyone at home, is we actually put this rock under the microscope, and it's flipping crazy. All the little like color variations and the what would that just be, the Sagenite in it? Because there's all these little stick formations and plumes and banding and color variation. It's so blue too. Like this thing is just crazy up close. I wish I could. Yeah, it is. It is absolutely rock art. Like it looks so cool. I would tell you what magnification we were at, but we never looked. We were just like,
it's okay.
Oh, whoa, pretty.
Very scientific.
Yeah, it was a super, super scientific process of, wow, look at that. You see that? So yeah, that's what you're all looking at right now. It's so cool. So that video is actually coming out tomorrow. We took a bunch of stuff over there, like some amphibole quartz and some of my coral fossils and my amber. I'm trying to think of what else. A dry head agate. Like, yeah, we just took a bunch of stuff over and got super close up looks at it. And yeah, there's some awesome stuff. So tomorrow being the day after this comes out, so Saturday, that's the video. Also, while I was there, she being Kim, Montana Rock Mom.
Go subscribe.
Shout out to Montana Rock Mom. Had a nice agate sitting on her shelf, and I said that would be a beautiful cabochon, just a beautiful big cabochon. And she's like, "Okay, do you want to? Would you cab it for me?" I was like, "Yeah, just for an excuse to cab that thing. Of course I would." So
I need to put my hands on that.
So this is that cabochon. I have no idea how you would set it, but oh, it's so stunning. Like, it's
Belt
such
buckle.
a beautiful mossy,
Beautiful.
right? Pretty much just like a perfect belt buckle.
Did
But
you
yeah,
get? Did you put that underneath the microscope at all?
no, we did not. We should have.
You
We
should.
totally should have. But yeah, it's super pretty. I liked it. And then lastly,
I like it.
I liked it.
I like it. I love
So Monday when we went out, we were going out for agates. And the normal Yellowstone River stuff. So like the petrified wood, agates, jasper, that kind of stuff. Our hunt literally started like before we even like really got onto the bank and started walking. I found a huge concretion, so I split it, and it had this fantastic ammonite inside.
Right from the top.
Nice.
Wow.
That
Yeah,
was at the beginning.
that's literally how the day
Not
started.
fair.
And
That's
I
amazing.
yeah, right. So I prepped
I'm
this
done.
one.
Yeah.
It's pretty much. It's like, oh my gosh, if we're starting like this, we couldn't. What? And it was
so
a
good.
fantastic
That
day.
is so good.
I prepped this one up, and it's literally a perfect condition hopplescaphite, and it's so pretty. It's so nice. And I meant to stabilize it before coming tonight, but I forgot. So my bad. It's got fantastic amylite in there, which will show once I get it stabilized. It's just a little. Some amylite is weird when it gets exposed to air. It starts to oxidize, and it gets like kind of soft. Like if I wipe my finger on it, you can literally see the powder that was the shell. So if you stabilize it, it locks it in place, and then the color comes back out. And it has green, red, and purple amylite like all over it. It's going to be so pretty. I can't wait to
Oh my
see what this
gosh.
thing is going to look like. It's amazing.
Wow.
And then we cut the bottom so that it sits up all nice and perfect. Like, and I'm going to come back
That's
in because
smart.
if you see all those little white marks, those are all
Mhm.
gastropods and clams and mussel shells. So now that the ammonite is exposed, I'm actually going to come in and prep all of those other little shells. And this thing is just going to be one fully loaded conglomerate with a beautiful ammonite centerpiece.
Are you
Wow.
gonna sell that?
I honestly don't think I'm going to with this one. It's such a nice scaphite. I found a lot of scaphites, but the shape on this one is just perfect. Because scaphite, most ammonites, you know the shape of an ammonite when you
Yeah.
think of an ammonite. Scaphites are super weird, and this is actually a perfect example of what they usually look like. The bottom lip comes out way farther than most other ammonite species. Like if you hold it like that, you can see that the bottom like really, really curls out and over. Most ammonites would end like right there, where they're more
Mhm.
spherical, but scaphites are a really weird shape. And because they're so small and they're usually hollow and chambered, they get deformed a lot. Like, so you'll still wind up with nice specimens, but I think this is the nicest scaphite I've ever found. So I have to hold on to it. I have the thought process of I hold on to my nicest one of any given specimen until I find another nicer one, and then it's up
Yep.
for grabs.
Well, if you find a nicer one, you should turn that into a very certain Pokemon with a little bit of.
I know what you're referring to, and I have a different one in mind for that.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing that for sure, just not with this salmon. It's gonna happen. And those are my show and tells tonight.
Well, thank you. And I don't know
Thank
if I thanked Karen. Thank you, Karen, if I hadn't already. I probably did. I just don't remember.
Well, thanks again.
And then, do you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
what's going on?
Oh no.
I think
where'd you go?
my wires must be loose somewhere because I can't hear anything on the left ear. So Kurt submitted his show and tell to us, and he found this. I'll just post it right here, just like right there. He found this piece of petrified wood when he's hiking the Green Mountain National Forest in Vermont in 2019. He decided to cut it, get a face off to see what it looked like on the inside. And he said it's probably between the Neoproterozoic. Okay, yeah, I messed up on that word. The Neoproterozoic or Cambrian era. I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to edit that part out. You guys get to hear all my mistakes. But it turned out to be a really beautiful piece. So,
oh my gosh, this is a gorgeous
cool
slice.
Yeah. So, thank you, Kurt, for that submission. And I'm sorry you couldn't show it off yourself and have me read off all the big words.
He did it on purpose.
Yeah,
he did.
He
just didn't get enough during the show and tell.
And then down to my show and tell. Oh, I forgot to write down the time for that. Hold on 1 second. And then for my show and tell, I brought my little crystal rug that I dug out of the wall. And Krista, I can always send you some pictures after the podcast so you can get a better look before we go live. But yeah, I dug that out of the wall, glued it back together, and there was one little piece that I couldn't figure out where it went on there. I'm like, whatever, no big deal. And then I also have, I'll just put up right here the cool thing that Amy got me for doing the videos, like the little gadget. So that's like my show and tell 1.2 or 1.5. But that was a cool thing. But yeah, it was really neat to actually dig that out of the wall. And for those that have watched the video, it's really interesting because I got out of the wall. It was mostly intact except for like the face piece that fell off. But I didn't even hardly touch it. It was in my hand and it just fell in half. And I'm like, oh man, these things are super fragile. Super fragile. And I could go back and probably dig some more and find some more, but they're so fragile and so thin, it's almost not worth it to go back there and dig in that wall. Just because I have a bunch of other pieces that would have been a nice sized pocket, but again, they just crumbled and just like fell apart. I'm like, I am gonna try to put those together, but if I can't, I'm not gonna stress it too much because like I did some serious damage on that one pocket, and I'm like, it's not oh my gosh, it's not gonna come back together. My mouth gets ahead of my head. But that's my show and tell. At least until next week, I need to figure out something since I didn't go out rock hounding since I went back out. But when I did go back out for this video, it was literally within a couple days of going out, several days. Yeah, no one's been at that spot since I've been there, so that was kind of nice. So I didn't have to worry about like, I didn't have to worry about it. But I should actually invest in some like bear mace or something because. Watch for scat because I'll tell you where you're at.
Just bring a stick.
Oh, I should have said that. Oh wait, no, I kind of did that for my last one, so never mind. I was gonna do that for Words of Wisdom, but yeah, that was my show and tell. Unless anyone has anything else they would like to add at all. Anyone? We get a Words of Wisdom. Krista.
I like that little anticipation day.
But yeah, so for my words of wisdom, utilize your state's Department of Natural Resources or GeoSurveys resources. Here in Ohio, we've got some awesome books and publications and maps that are all put out by the state that are so useful for identifying fossils found here and really finding your own spots. If you kind of read into the material a little bit, you can see like this was found in an outcrop along this creek by this road, and you can find some really neat spots just going through those materials, and usually they're free or relatively cheap, but really awesome resources that every state has at least something. and you're a lot better off knowing what the geology is if you're out hunting, because you're a lot more likely to find something if you know what you're looking for.
Yep.
So true.
Absolutely.
That's great advice.
Yes.
Love
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. I think Geo Rock Nerd said something very similar as far as kind of knowing also the tell minerals that are in your area that are going to lead you to the mineral that you're looking for, what occurs alongside the things that you're looking for, what are the good clues that you're in the right area type thing.
I have a question. Karen, do you have these written down somewhere? Because you have better memory than I do. You don't have like a script. You don't have like a script in front of you of like who said what, because
no. But like I think we all in our different capacities listen to the podcast or watch it several times over.
Yeah.
For whatever reason while editing or what have you. And so, yeah, I don't know.
You still have way better memory than I do. My thing is
and believe me, go ahead.
I was going to say, it's a quick tangent. Growing up, my mom would never let me answer the phone. Because in between that phone ringing, me answering, asking what the question, like why they were calling, go talk to my mom. She's like, "Who's on the phone?" I'm like, "I don't know." She's like, "Well, what was the message?" I'm like, "I don't know." "What was the phone number?" She's like, "Don't answer the phone. The voicemail will get it." I'm like, "Okay,
all right."
It's a good way to get out of it.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless I don't have if I don't have pen and paper, like I'm letting the voicemail get it, because yeah, spur of the moment, like just.
Yeah.
I'm good at keeping secrets because I forget them.
Very good at keeping secrets. I can't remember. Yeah. What did you tell me? Yeah. I think I just have a very selective memory. If it has to do with rocks, I'll probably remember it. I don't remember appointments. Like I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. And so, yeah, it's just very, very selective material. But loved that words of wisdom. Thank you, Krista. And I think as far as mine goes, if you're thinking outside the box, just isn't working to solve a problem for you, maybe just build a different box. So
it could be any shape. Doesn't have to be a square.
Yeah. It could be a teardrop or a triangle. Yeah.
Or a Mobius strip.
You just like totally melted my mind. I'm like, okay. But I'm going to try to do it in jewelry tomorrow.
A Mobius strip? Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be cool.
Sure. A Mobius strip trap for something.
Yeah, oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Curse you, Roger.
I had
All right,
Mobius
your
strips
turn.
on the mind. I'm sorry. No, that sounds so random. Just to explain really quick, I random tangential story that has nothing to do with anything. I saw a reel that was hilarious, and this teacher was just like angrily like just exasperated because he told everyone they could take a note card and on one side they could write sheets for the test, and one of his students cut it in half and taped it together and literally made it into a Mobius strip, so he just covered the whole thing in like literally the whole key for the test. But yeah, I just thought it was funny. Anyway though, my words of wisdom have nothing to do with what I just said, nor do they have anything to do with Mobius strips. So hyperfocus can be a bad thing sometimes.
Sometimes,
most of the time,
all the time.
I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, for like projects and stuff, I need my hyper focus, but for like rock hunts specifically, that ammonite is what brought this to mind. I already wrapped it up, so just remember what it looks like. If I was out there looking for agates, we were totally going out specifically for our normal Yellowstone River rock hunting. Had I just completely, zoned in on the agates, jaspers, petrified wood, there's no way I would have stopped to look at that or recognized that concretion, stop to look at it and break it open and find one of the nicest ammonites I've ever found. So just sometimes it's better, and actually it applies to a lot of different stuff. Sometimes it's just better to just go with the flow, see what happens, kind of thing. Some of my best hunts are the ones I walk into with zero expectation.
Yes. I like to have low expectations.
Yes, exactly.
You're there
Very
for
helpful in life.
Yeah.
sometimes it's just nice to get out. And if you find a rock, that's cool too. So thank you, Karen and Felipe, for for your words of wisdom.
Felipe Roger.
And I guess my words of wisdom would be I'm going to keep going back to it. If you're wanting to start a YouTube channel and you're wondering how to do it, if you have a smartphone that has a camera capability, you have a means to start a channel. So just start recording and to start posting, because you can have the most basic equipment and you can always upgrade from that basic equipment. To start recording, start posting it. Your first videos are going to be super cringe. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You look at anyone here, and I'm willing to bet like the first videos are gonna be like, I don't know about this, but
Yeah.
keep posting.
I wouldn't want anyone to watch them.
Just keep posting and just keep doing research on how to make your videos better. Look at various equipment. Like if you don't like how shaky your camera is, if you're out in the field. I don't have one myself, but I'd like to get one, like one of those gimbals to kind of help stabilize things, because I don't like the camera stabilizer that's in the camera itself, because if you have it on and you're not moving, that camera is trying to adjust and it thinks it's moving, but it's not, so it makes the camera kind of all wonky. But still, do your research and be willing to grow if you want to see growth. It just takes research, but start posting. Like if you want to do it tomorrow, post something tomorrow. And a little tidbit hint: pick a name, go on YouTube, search it, go in the filters, and look for any other channels that might have that name. And if someone else has it, just pick something that's going to be. And it doesn't have to be related to rocks either. If you're watching this and you're not a rock hound and you're like an artist or whatever, or it doesn't matter. Find something that's going to be somewhat like niche to that name. Search it, make sure no one else has it, and then snag it up. Because my channel name could have been something else, because I did a lot of double checking. I think there was actually a couple channels that had like names I was going to pick. I'm like, oh, dang it.
I just literally never got that far. I was like, man, that's a tomorrow problem. We'll do that later. I think 17.5 thousand subscribers. I think that ship has sailed at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think I can change my channel name anymore.
Well, you're just lucky your name wasn't Bob Smith, okay? So,
I know,
that channel name was.
Yeah, I don't know how many other Theo Kellisons there are on YouTube.
Yeah, you got lucky.
Yep.
Thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dad.
You Mr. Kellison.
But that's my words of wisdom. Just start posting.
Kyle. Good job.
So, Karen, back to you.
Okay. First of all, I would love to know, Krista, do you have some words that you'd like to leave the audience with? Maybe how they find you?
Yeah. Well, first, thank you guys so much for having me on here. It's been a lot of fun. So you can find me on YouTube at Rock and Road Rockhounding. I'm on Instagram and as of recently TikTok at @_Rock and Road _. And then I have an Etsy shop as well, and that's just Rock and Road. So you can check me out and find me on any of those places. So.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
thank
nice
you
stuff.
so much for
Yeah.
being on. Yeah, gorgeous stuff. I'm so, like very much too tempting kinds of things in there. So go get one for each finger, like I was saying last week. So it was a blast hanging out with you. Thank you so much, and I'd love to have you back on at some point to talk more geology. Like I feel like that was an iceberg that we need to tap more for sure.
Yeah,
So.
I'd be happy to talk about it more.
All right. And thank all of you out there for hanging out to the end of another grand Rockhound podcast. You guys come join us over there on the Discord. And if you send us an email, the email link is in the description. We will send you an invite and you can have the banter of the Rockhound podcast all week long. And it'll get you by in between these Friday nights. Meanwhile, stay safe out there. Keep rocking and tune in next week when Theo says...
I'm going to talk about the size of the observable universe and why it's statistically impossible that aliens could ever live long enough to make it to the Earth. Okay.
Rock on.
Oh, Theo, what is the secret to the universe?
Oh, that's easy. It's